Hi, this is Stacy Higginbotham with GigaOM, and I'm here with Jonathan Ring, who is the co-founder and president of Caringo. Hi, Jonathan.
Hello.
Jonathan, we're here to talk about Caringo and storage. And first off, I kind of wanted to talk to you about the idea that software is eating the world, and software is becoming much more important in infrastructure and hardware. How is that kind of affecting the storage industry?
Well, from our point of view, we saw software as the only path to storage when we started the company. So we had been in the business of building storage with hardware and specialized hardware, and we thought that, we've got commodity hardware now. It's the right prices, it's the right price point, it's available everywhere. Let's build a software solution for storage.
Everything is big data, we want to have data. How do you see that kind of benefiting your business? And what do you think it means for kind of some of the less commodity players? Is there still going to be a role for them?
From us, it plays right into our business. We believe this is the way that the industry is going to go. You're going to have software that runs on hardware that does lots of different things, from storage to services to compute, and you're going to be able to need to disconnect from the hardware from the software solutions as storage or whatever, so that as they both evolve, they aren't tightly coupled. And what we think this does to those people who have tightly coupled solutions is, over time, their solutions are becoming less and less valuable and more rigid, in that they're not going to be able to change fast enough. So one of the big advantages of software is we don't have to adapt to the next hardware platform that's come out. We already run on the next hardware platform, and we can take advantage of it, whether it's greener or cheaper or faster, as well as we can evolve independent of the evolution of the hardware, which gives us a lot more flexibility to satisfy market needs more on demand than having a long-term strategy to evolve hardware and software that are tightly coupled.
And you would describe that kind of concept to me as this river of stored data flowing through this infrastructure. I can't remember how you did it.
Yeah, well, so what I was talking about there is, when we sat down and looked at building what we were building, we were thinking in terms of how do you preserve and manage and use your data over hundreds of years, not over 10 years. We really thought long term. And the only way to do that is to decouple yourself from the hardware, so that you can take advantage of the hardware evolutions and allow people to run a heterogeneous environment as hardware as it evolves. We see Intel-based architectures, we're seeing new architectures that are in ARM. What's going to be next? Well, we don't want to really care about that. What we want to care about is that provides the price performance of the actual infrastructure, the hardware, and we want to keep evolving in such a way that we can absorb that as the industry evolves the hardware base, and not be coupled to it in such a way that this river of hardware can't flow underneath your data. So if you think in terms of 100 years, I don't know what it's going to look like in 100 years. But I shouldn't have to bring my structure down to change over. I shouldn't have to do forklift upgrades. I should be able to just put in the new hardware besides my old hardware, and it should work. And that's what our objective was with the software-based solution.
All right, nearer term than 100 years. Let's say 5 years out. What do you see happening in the underlying infrastructure?
I see a couple things happening. I think that one of the backbones is going to be that network performance is going to increase, so you're going to be able to build these bigger, higher performance clusters. 10 gig is going to become some mainstream, already is. You're going to see the Intel architectures get more efficient, more dense, some of them cheaper, like the Atom processor. You're going to see people who want real big archives, so you're going to see big densities of disks associated with not a whole lot of processing power. And you're also going to see ARM processors come into play significantly, where you're going to have power requirements, cooling requirements, all the stuff that's actually going to cost us more in the future than probably the hardware. The ARM processors represent a tremendous opportunity to do that, as well as they're very inexpensive in the ability for them to have just a few disks with high density associated with it, and yet burn very little power, be very effective, and be very high performance. So we think ARM is going to come into play big time. We also think that you're going to see big increases in the density of these nodes to accommodate the large volume of data that's coming in.
And are we going to store more in coming years?
We're going to store a lot more in coming years.
Good for you. All right, thank you so much.